A couple of weeks ago, while looking up the news on the Level Up series website, I stumbled on an announcement. It said that the company called Esports Ecosystem, which seeks to introduce cryptocurrency in esports, was partnering with Wednesday Night Fights, a widely known premier weekly fighting game event that takes place in Southern California. It also said that the company was also going to sponsor the, at the time, upcoming EVO tournament. Shoryuken News also confirmed that last bit. After EVO ended, some players complained that, taking into account how big the FGC community had become in the last year, the prize pools at EVO were not sufficient and that only the players that made top 8 were awarded some money, which was unfair to the players below top 8 since their efforts to make it out of pools were not rewarded. Why am I telling you this? Well, here is where Esports Ecosystem comes in. In their website, their business plan states that up to 21% of the future winnings will be used to increase growth in the FGC community by increasing prize pools at tournaments, making sure that tournament organizers obtain sufficient revenue, sponsoring players just like they recently did with Run It Black and Cool Kid 93, and also charities, scholarships, etc. Some members of the FGC have shown their position to be against the company's initiative since they think it could be a quick way to make money and leg it, while others firmly support it as a way of genuinely funneling money into the community so better and bigger events get organized, as well as properly rewarding players for their grinding. Talking from my perspective, I've never felt the urge to learn about cryptocurrencies because from what I saw in the media, it looked like a complex topic and that it would take some time to fully assimilate, especially me coming from a non-financial background. But seeing these two topics mixed together made me curious enough to do a little bit of research and shed some light on the subject. Before we tackle the topic, I feel necessary to bring everyone up to speed, and that means doing a quick review about the concept of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Now don't fret, it's going to be a very quick and simplified explanation of what those two concepts are. In case you already know, you can skip this part of the video, but I strongly recommend that you stay. I have to make clear that I'm no expert on the matter, so if at some point at the video I make some mistakes or misconceptions, feel free to point them out so I can edit the video at a later date. With that being said, let's begin! So until very recently, when two people needed to trade, they would often look for an authority such as an institutional platform that could guarantee that both sides are trustworthy and that the transaction would be properly noted on a ledger, which is basically a book that stores all the froms, to's and what's of a transaction. This system's database is centralized, which means that only the platform or institution has the right and responsibility to supervise it. Enter the blockchain, which instead of being centralized, is composed by a series of nodes that belong to a peer-to-peer network. I think I heard that somewhere. Anyway, every node consists of a user that volunteers to keep track of all the transactions being made and thus gets a full copy of the blockchain database. Each time there is a new transaction, these volunteers add it to the ledgers, and at some point each node compares its database to one another in order to reach consensus. Once consensus is reached, then the new transaction is set in stone. This makes it very difficult to tamper with because if you change one node's database, the others will notice the change and consensus will not be reached. Cryptocurrency, as you've probably guessed, is digital money that uses the system that I just mentioned. In order to keep transactions secure, users get to have a private key and a public key. The private key will be used to sign their transactions, and the public key can be used by anyone to check if the user's signature checks out. So I think everyone has a basic understanding of what blockchain and cryptocurrency are. If you'd like to know more, I've linked some videos in the description that give a more profound look. So how is Esports Ecosystem going to introduce money into the FGC? First thing, they need investors that will buy their tokens, which are cryptocurrency that is being implemented in a blockchain that's not theirs. They will sell their coins through an ICO or initial coin offering, which is divided by a pre-sale and a public sale. As far as I can guess about the type of investors they're looking for, they could be as much as inside the video game industry as outside of it. But knowing that the CEO of the company is also the CEO of Canada Cup Gaming transmits a lot of confidence. In the event that all their tokens are sold, as I said before, up to 21% will be dedicated to the community. So if we pick up the numbers from their website, from the ICO, the community will receive $6,630,000. I haven't found information on their website about how they plan to continue to make profit, but on Blockchain Council it states that after an ICO, a business such as theirs has a couple of ways, such as transaction fees, meaning that they will charge a transaction fee for the activity in the network, cryptocurrency speculation, which involves increasing the token's value to sell it to speculators, or service level agreements, which will mean getting paid for building the platform and hosting the infrastructure. And as far as I can understand, the same ICO percentage from any future winnings will keep going to the community. So what I can gather from all of this is that, while it is true that a community shouldn't be welcoming just anyone into it, I think it would be a mistake not to give these guys a chance given their fighting game background. I believe this company has the best interest for the FGC community, and they've already started showing it through some good decisions. We cannot resist change and at the same time wish things could be different, and I can't think of someone else at this moment that can fit that gap better than this company. I hope time proves it, because I wouldn't love anything more than to see the FGC surpass other gaming communities in the near future. That's all for today's video. I tried to give as much information as I could while keeping it short. What's your opinion about Esports Ecosystem? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. You're always welcome here.